Hello everybody and welcome back to week 26 of the Altered Index 2024 challenge. This is the challenge that I'm running in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts. This is also being hosted in the Junk Journaling for Everyone Facebook group. It's been really wonderful seeing everybody's altered index cards so far. If you don't have index cards and you're just kind of starting to join in now, you don't have to use an index card. I'm only using them because that's what I have a lot of in my stash. But there are people who are either just decorating a journal page using these 3 prompts, or maybe a tag or an ATC, something like that. So it's entirely up to you. Just use what you have. The main idea of this was just basically to start going through my stash. And I thought by giving myself prompts, it also gives me a chance to hopefully be a little bit more creative. So we are on week 26. I cannot believe it that we are now halfway through, because I'm going to do one a week for the whole year. So we are now halfway through on week 26. The 3 prompts this week, we have the word graceful. We have the colour golden. Now this is the second time golden's come up, so that will be gone now from my list. And then the thing is hobby. So we've got graceful, golden and hobby. So for this I had a little think about my hobbies, and to be honest, other than making journals, making digitals or albums, things like that, paper crafting is my hobby. So I thought it makes sense to do a papercraft style index card. So what I have done is, this the index card I'm using. So I use index cards which are 6 inches by 4 inches. And I have dug out some scraps that I had of digital papers that I've designed. So I've got this one, which I think is from my Industrial Grunge. I've then got another page which is from my letters kit. I've got some music paper because I like to use that a lot in my journals, and I've got some vellum just because vellum looks lovely in everything. And what I was thinking of doing is almost creating journal pages out of these. So folding them in half, and I have paper clipped them together so that they are roughly where I want them to be. And it doesn't matter if it's not exact, but I thought if I fold it in half, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 3-hole pamphlet stitch up the middle, so it looks like an open book, an open journal. And then I'm going to stick that back page to my journal card. And then for my golden part, now I didn't have any golden thread. This is as close as I've got. So I thought, well, the thread kind of looks golden. And then I've got these tiny little scissors die. So I've cut out these little scissors. So I thought I might stick those on my vellum somewhere. And then for the quote for graceful, I'm not sure whether I'm going to use black or white yet. I'll have to kind of see how it looks once it's all together. But I've got live each day with grace and authenticity. So I know it says grace rather than graceful, but as I've said in previous videos, I really don't mind if you kind of interpret the prompts in your own way. Grace is as close as I'm going to get to graceful. It doesn't matter if it's not exact. So let's first of all start, I think, by doing the pamphlet stitch. Now, as we know, the 3-hole pamphlet stitch is probably the easiest of all of the stitches that we make our journals with. So I'm just going to punch my 3 holes. As I said, it doesn't matter if it's not quite exact. Just kind of want to make sure that I've got all of my layers inside the holes, so that'll do. These are the needles that I use, so that one will do. Okay, and then I'm just going to thread this as I normally would. So if you haven't done a 3-hole pamphlet stitch before, this is really the easiest of stitches to do. So I'm just trying to see what side my thread's on. It's on that side. So I want the one coming in to go on the other side of that middle string. And when I make these, when I do the 3-hole pivot stitch, I always make sure that I've got plenty of thread. Now obviously I don't need to worry about whether this is like tightly bound or not, so I'm just going to do a little knot in there. I am going to have my strings dangling a little bit. And just snip that off and that'll do. So like I said, it doesn't matter if they're not really taut or anything, because obviously this is going to get stuck down. I can now take my paper clips off, and that's going to go on there like that. So let's stick that bit down. But yeah, when I saw the word hobby, this is my hobby really. It's the only thing that I like to do in my free time. I mean, obviously I like spending time with my family and things like that, but that's not really a hobby. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up with the index card. Pop that down on there. So that's obviously only going to stick that back page, and then these are going to be like journal pages. I'm not going to bend them too much because obviously once they're in the box, I don't want them kind of flapping all over the place. So I'm not going to bend them too much so they're really folded, because obviously it's not going to actually be used as a journal. It's just a cute little journal idea, hopefully. Right, so now that's done. Put my needle back in there so I don't lose it. I then need to think about where I'm going to pop my scissors. So I could have my scissors up this side and then my sentiment on this side, something like that. Now the cute thing about these scissors, and I don't know whether you can see it very well on the camera, but they do have a little hole in them where you would obviously normally have that join. So if I get my actual scissors, so obviously where you've got the screw there, it does have a hole for that. Now I did try putting a brad through, but they were just far too big. So I'm just going to glue it down, and then I've got these kind of flat bottom bead things, and I was going to see if I could find one of those that might be small enough to go on there. So let's stick these down first. I think I'm going to need my tweezers. Yeah, just another way to get that gold in. I thought I'd do this, my scissors in a gold. Can't remember how they go together. Like that. Okay, so if I have this one up here. Something like that, and then this one, it's going to go this way. I'm just going to try and line up where those holes are. And this glue does dry clear, and it's very good on vellum as well actually, so I don't mind if it oozes out a little bit. Right, so there's my scissors, and I was kind of thinking of a little black one since we have got the black in obviously the music dots underneath, but I'm not sure if this one's too tiny, so let's take one out and have a look. I think it might be actually. I don't know, actually it fits in there quite nicely. Right, let's get a blob of glue in there then. Oops. Moved it out of the way now. Right, okay, I'm just going to leave it there because I think every time I touch it, it just keeps moving. Right, so that's that. And then actually, because we have got black, I'm thinking the black one would look better. So it was live each day with grace and authenticity. So live each day with grace something like that. So I'm just going to line it up a little bit better. That's better. So live each day with grace and authenticity. So that's that. Really like those scissors, they're really cute. Again, one thing I've really loved about this stash is, this challenge is that I'm actually using stuff in my stash. I've had these scissor dies for a while. And I think I've used them once when I very first got them, but I haven't used them since, which is obviously such a shame because they're really cool. Okay, I'm thinking that this one's going to be too tiny actually. Just keeps getting lost in there. So I might go for a bigger one. Yeah, actually that's better. That's better. In case anybody asks, this has a wax tip. It's really great for picking up small items like this. I don't know if it's for diamond painting because you've got that bit there which I think is for the wax, but they're just really good for picking up small beads like that. Right, so then we need the number 26 on there, so I just need to grab my guide. So 26 is going to be the second one along. So it's going to go here, and I'm going to want it. So do I now stick it over so it's in the vellum? I mean, it does mean that obviously I can't turn my pages fully, but then it's not being used as a journal anyway, is it? It's just obviously there to make it look like they're journal pages. Or I can just have it over all of them anyway. I think I'll have it behind the vellum. So let's get it stuck into place. I'm going to do the back first. And then I'm going to lift over the vellum. And then I'm going to glue the front side. Okay, so that's how my number 26 card looks. So let's just check our prompts, if I can find where I've put them. So we had graceful, live each day with grace and authenticity. Golden, so I've got my golden pair of scissors. I've used an ish golden thread. And hobby, my hobby is designing digitals and creating journals. So I've created a mini journal. I've used some of my digitals, and I love those little golden scissors. I think they're just so cute. So that is my number 26. I really hope that you've found some inspiration here today. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I also love reading your comments down below, so do feel free to drop me a comment. If you are not already a subscriber, please consider clicking that subscribe button and also clicking that bell so that you are notified of any new crafty videos. Remember, when posting your versions of these altered index cards, please use the hashtag alteredindex2024. That way other people are able to come and see and be inspired by your work. I'd love to see your makes in either of the Facebook groups. As I said, it's hosted in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, but it's also being hosted in Junk Journaling for Everyone. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.